Welcome to AAPC Social Hour for April 10th, 2024, a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I've got Dave Kaiser.
Hey everybody, excited to be here.
How you doing, Dave?
Oh, I'm doing so good, man. I was gonna ask you about the eclipse, if you were able to see it or experience it at all.
I did not participate this this go around. How about you? Did you? You're in the middle of somewhere south of me in Utah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the middle of Arizona, kind of in Navajo country, just north of Flagstaff. Just on my way back to St. George to kind of get ready to go down to Vegas on Friday and set up for HealthCon. So I'm yeah, just been
Was that a
traveling.
good viewing area for the eclipse?
Well, I was actually in Texas. I went to Fort
Mhm.
Worth. I've got my brother and sister live there, and then we hiked up to this cool little like beautiful forested enchanted glen that overlooked everything, and the clouds parted just in time for like the eclipse, and it was amazing. Got to see the full totality, everything
Oh,
go
so
dark,
cool.
and then just this silver ring in the
Wow,
sky, and it was wild for like 4 minutes. Um,
that's neat.
yeah, everything got so still and quiet and just peaceful. It was so cool.
No,
So
was this yesterday?
Monday.
Monday. Okay. Well, I missed that. If you're watching, let us know if you saw the eclipse wherever you're at. I see you, Tisha Livingston. Thanks for joining us today. Our friend, the Crafty Coder. Happy Wednesday to you, Emmy Caraballo. Thanks for being with us. We got Mirin from Elk Grove, California. Dave, I was in the national office yesterday. We
Oh,
were packing up all the your gear is good to go,
oh,
all
good.
safe in their cases and everything. We're getting close. We're just days away from HealthCon. Let us know in the comments if you'll be joining us, and let us know when you're going to fly in. I'm getting in on Saturday afternoon. When will you get there, Dave?
I'll be driving down from St. George. It's like a 2 hour drive for me on Friday morning. So I'll be
Okay.
setting up for Teach the Teacher, which will be on Saturday, and it's gonna be fun. I'm noticing we have a lot of our YouTube viewers on, but we may not be
Oh.
broadcasting to Facebook for some reason. Again, um, it doesn't look like it's hooked into Facebook. Facebook's
Oh.
kind of been a little bit of a struggle, but I'll post a link. Um, I'll post this Facebook or the YouTube link on our Facebook page, and we'll see if we
Okay.
can get more people joining that way. So,
Okay. Awesome. Well, while I was in the office yesterday, I picked up a couple of things I want to show off. Here's the HealthCon T-shirt,
ooh,
HealthCon 2024, presented by Semantic Health, our new sister company. And here's the back. Cool Las Vegas vibe there. And also, I picked up this. So this year we're doing our second Codify Happy Hour, and it's just tons of fun. Have we had contests last year in Nashville? We had Dolly Parton, and Dolly Parton impersonator, and she was amazing. But if you're attending the Codify Happy Hour and you're registered for that, you'll pick up one of these cool shirts. And I know they've got tons of fun planned for that. If you're not registered for that and you're attending HealthCon, you can do so in the app and just join us for some food and hang out for a little bit and have some fun. Win prize. We give away so many prizes, which is awesome. This week in the AAPC Facebook group, we gave away 2 seats to my Gordon Ramsay dinner experience, and today I just gave away 2 pairs of tickets to the Las Vegas Sphere,
cool.
which looks awesome. And have you driven by the? I haven't even seen that lit up yet. Have
It's
you seen that lit
amazing.
up?
It's so cool. Yeah, I was down there during what was it? It must have been during All-Star break, and the whole thing was one giant basketball for a little
Wow.
bit. And it'll cycle through a few different, things that are going on or events. But I had dinner at the Stratosphere at the very top of the tower. It looks like the Seattle Gosh, I'm gonna butcher this.
Space
People
Needle.
like Space. Yeah, thank you. Gonna have all the people from Seattle being like, "Oh man, this guy."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I ate dinner up there, and the view from up there is just amazing. But you can see that sphere so well from that aerial view, and it's cool. So those of you that are, did you say you already gave away the
We
tickets?
did
Or
give away. They are given away. But keep your eye in the Facebook group because the events team keeps pinging me saying, "Hey, we've got a few more seats to this or that." So if you're attending HealthCon this coming, or I guess next week, uh, keep your eyes on the Facebook group, the AAPC Facebook group, because you just don't know what's going to happen. I might be in there dropping more prizes in. But we're looking forward to that. And let's see here.
we give away such
Tisha says,
prizes, man.
"What's that?"
I said we give away such good prizes. So if any of you are
Oh
new
man.
or new members, definitely getting involved. You can win a lot of free stuff, and gosh, even free CEUs and everything. So
Yes.
courses.
And I've got to get rid of this stuff. So I've been holding on to this for a year. I've had this since we were in Nashville, and my big display back here. So I've got to pick up some new signage for my social hours studio from Las Vegas. So we're looking forward to that, guys. It's going to be tons of fun. Hope to see you all there. And again, this this Sunday, this coming Sunday, is when we kick off HealthCon 2024. And if you're not registered, you can still attend virtually. So just visit healthcon.com and we can get you registered for the virtual experience, which we've done. We have a lot of experience with that now, Dave. I know that is a big lift for you and your team. Are you ready for this?
I guess I could never say we're fully ready because there's always just different stuff that pops up. But yeah, we have, like you said, Alex, Big Al, we've done this so many we've done this so many times that we kind of have a good process, and we have really great volunteers from our national advisory board and our I want to say BOD, but our board of directors, but we're going to talk about this today.
Yeah.
The CAB, right? The
Yep.
new name for them. I can't remember what it stands for.
Chapter Advisory Board,
Chapter
I
Advisory Board.
believe.
I should
Yes.
know that. It's just, I'm like an old dog. It's hard to learn these new acronyms. But yeah, we're ready to go. We've got everything kitted out. So if you aren't able to physically attend one of our health cons, we live stream all of our sessions. Well, almost all of them, the bulk of them. We live stream them on our platform, so you can watch that way. You can also watch that on demand if you purchase that and watch it all throughout the year and get a ton of CEUs. Forget total how many it is. Is it 16?
Like around 18,
18?
I think, is what it is. Yeah.
So,
Oh, and also, if you're not attending, you can view AAPC's president, Bevan Erickson, share his welcome message on Sunday. If you go to the AAPC Facebook page and click on events, or if you scroll down our wall, you'll be able to see a link with a picture of him. But there's a link that will take you to the events, and you can get a reminder for when that happens. But we'll be streaming that on Facebook. So he always has great information to share, a great insight, not only into the industry, but just us as professionals and how maybe we should approach and look at our careers. He's very insightful.
yeah, he's definitely a forward thinker. So if you're concerned about, what AI is going to do, for the industry and all those things, he touches on a lot of these different topics in a very just intelligent way that is really super helpful. And it's
Yep.
fun. His addresses, he
It's
always
fun.
includes, a lot of just funny little pop culture references. And yeah, Bevan does a good
Do
job.
you, do you remember? We got to get some of our guests on here, but a few years ago, he had a leg injury from, I think, it was a mountain biking accident, and he was coding his leg injury. He had this X-ray up on the big screen and going through that. That was a ton of fun. So we'll see. I don't think he's been hurt this year. Knock on wood. So, he'll share some interesting insights. But
Definitely.
we've got we've got the AAPCCA National Advisory or AAPCCA Board members with us today, and we've got Lori Cox from the AAPC National Office with us. Let's get Lori in here.
All right.
There
Lori.
she is.
Hey
Lori
guys.
Cox.
Hi. Good to see you guys again.
You too.
Hey, what do you have any big plans for HealthCon? Like, I know you've got work, which is, but
I
are you
know.
going to go to any shows or anything?
I'm not sure yet. So my son just turned 21 in January, so he's coming with me. And he's never been. So we have some plans and some things to do with him, some museums, and of course, just seeing everything with him. But I love, I'm not a huge Vegas fan, but I love HealthCon because I get to see you guys and I get to see all my AAPC family. So I'm really, I mean, that's my favorite part about HealthCon is just getting to see everybody.
Yeah. Rubbing shoulders with pretty much everyone, people that you talk to all year long, and then you actually get to see in person.
Yeah, and it's like you haven't seen each other in a year, and it's like you never unconnected at all. It's great.
Yeah. Are you guys going to do the big Ferris wheel, the high roller at the link? You're going to do that? We had a comment from one of our YouTube viewers. It's Veronica, and she was saying that, here, let's move Lori up there. Saying that there's a great view of the sphere from the monorail and the high roller. So if you're able to take advantage of the high roller, I know we're doing like a little kind of like an after all the sessions are done. Hey, if you want to go hang out in this little like lounge area before you ride the high roller, we'll be hanging out there too. So I don't remember what night it is. I'm ill prepared right now.
Tuesday, I think. Isn't it Tuesday?
But needless to say, it's going to be fun. So that's cool that you're going to ride it with your son, and cool that he's 21 and can experience,
right?
a lot bigger. Yeah.
I know he's going to get a wild awakening because we're very rural here. We have nothing like Vegas here in Missouri. So
you're small town, right, Lori?
I'm very small town. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a ton of fun for him.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I know he is too.
Lori, we want to talk about your article, A New Way to Approach the EM Guidelines, that was published in the April edition of AAPC magazine. And it sounds like reading that article, you open with saying that the changes that have happened caused auditors to be delighted but confused. And you talk about that a little bit. Would you just tell us a little bit about what led to this article and about the three-pronged approach that you share?
Absolutely. So back when the E&M guidelines changed in 2021, we here at AAPC on the audit services division that I work at, we taught our auditors using this new way of thinking of auditing because we had all these changes. And that only applied to certain E&M visits back in 21. And now it applies to most of all of them. So we had to kind of rethink and readapt our old way of how we were so used to finding which E&M code to bill and how to level it and use the doctor's documentation. So we kind of went back to that old article that I wrote in 21 and revamped it for the new changes for 2023. And that's kind of how it came about, but it is a challenge. We have a lot of questions. Probably that's our biggest question we get is on E&M because everybody uses them. All of the specialties use E&M codes pretty much. And so when the guidelines changed, everybody was just really freaking out, I think, and confused, happy because the old way was very cumbersome and the new way is supposed to be better, but it's challenging.
Okay. And the three-pronged approach to handling this, understanding the patient, understand the problem, and understand the risks. Is there one that you feel like that our members could use the most help with, or is there one that should be focused on more than the other?
Yeah, all of them are important, but the risk is the most confusing one. We've got to know the patient and we got to know the problem, but what is the actual risk of the patient today. So while they're at the doctor's office or they're in the hospital and they're with the doctor, how serious is the problem today? So we kind of go through in the article and we talk about what is the risk to the patient, what is the risk of the problem to the patient, and then what is the overall risk of the patient today, and taking a new look at it as opposed to the old criteria that we had that was outdated.
Have these changes, do they really require a big paradigm shift for auditors and professionals?
Well, you're going to hear some people say yes, it does, because change is difficult for some. I welcome the new changes, and I think a lot of us did. A lot of the providers do as well. When I go out and I do provider education and I talk to them about this, they're happy because the old way, they used to have to document things that were not relevant. They'd have to do, like an orthopedic doctor, in order to bill a high level E&M service, would have to document a GI or a GU exam. It made no sense at all. So that's gone. And it's beneficial now because we're just focusing on what is the risk to the patient today. Again, what's the problem and what's the overall risk? But again, it caused some confusion, like, because some providers are saying, well, if I see a patient with hypertension, they're always moderate risk. That's not the case. And that's what we're trying to get at in the article. It's what is the risk to that patient today? Not it's always going to be a moderate risk for every patient that has high blood pressure.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense. So it sounds like it's more personalized, right?
It
That
is. It
patient,
should be.
maybe even under other underlying conditions that they have might maybe mitigate some
Mhm.
things, right? You can't just say
Exactly.
hypertension for everyone is this
Right.
level.
Right. Exactly. And that's the way it should be, because we're trying to get away from fee for service and go to quality of care. We want patients to have better care. And even us on the back end doing what we do, the coding, the billing, the auditing, that's supporting the patient's care because we're helping them have a seamless process from the minute they make their appointment to the minute their claim gets paid. And that's all on us. So we have to be able to understand these new criteria, have a clinical understanding. Sometimes you'll hear a lot of auditors say, I'm not a doctor, I can't, do this or that. But we can certainly teach ourselves to think along those lines. And that's what we're trying to do here.
That's interesting because your first point, understand the patient. When I saw that, I think, well, our members are in the back, just coding and or auditing, doing all of this stuff that really doesn't put you in direct contact with the patient.
Right.
But number one, requires that you know the patient with what information you have. So it really tries to make a personal connection.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what it's all about. We need to remember, again, we are here to support patients and a seamless process, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Now, Lori, thanks so much for sharing about your article. I'm curious, tell us a little bit about audit services for our members who may not be aware of your department, what you guys do.
Absolutely. So, well, everybody on here already knows AAPC, but what they probably don't know is that AAPC has a coding and auditing division. And quite honestly, a lot of what I do is coders will call us because their doctors want a second opinion on something. So just like patients want a second opinion before major surgery, perhaps an internal audit is done on a physician. They don't like it. So they want somebody to back them up and say, hey, I called AAPC because they're the boss when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? So then we come in and we talk to the coders and we say, all right, how are you talking to your providers? And then we go and we just say the same exact thing that the coders there are saying to the providers, but it's coming from AAPC. And so that's a lot of what I do. We do audits, we do risk, we do coding, we do all of that support stuff for clients across the country.
Do you ever run into situations where I guess a lot of what you do is probably educating them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even times where you have to correct some miscoded things, right? Where you can't just back up the coder and be like, yep, this coder is right, because they've got, you know, AAPC in their credential. But
right. We do, but it's usually because sometimes the guidelines are purposely ambiguous, so they can be interpreted differently. So we just kind of go in and we say, this is how we think that the guidelines are interpreted. And if you guys think differently, what can we do to kind of meet in the middle? And then how do we present a united front to the physician?
Like your best educated guess.
Yes.
I mean,
sometimes it is, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. But
Well,
yeah, with
Lori, thanks.
people, yeah, collaborating together, you can get as close to the best result as possible. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Lori, we're so grateful that you could spend a few minutes with us today.
Thanks for having me.
What are you presenting on?
We did a case study on when the changes came in 2023, the E&M changes, and we did a case study on how that affected revenue. And so basically, that's what I'm presenting is a big case study on how we found what happened when the guidelines changed and how that affected revenue.
What day is that on? Do you know?
Monday.
Okay. All right. So if you're attending, check out Lori's session and learn a little bit about this case that they've unfolded. Lori, we'll see you this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Wait. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Lori.
She's awesome. Just great energy from Lori.
Yeah, always. She actually, she's the host of AAPC Services podcast called The Pulse. And I get the pleasure of editing. I really don't have to edit it, but I just kind of add some music and stuff to it. But yeah, Lori brings on a bunch of really interesting guests. A lot of them that have spoken at health cons, but other people that are just in the industry and have a lot of knowledge and expertise to share. So look for that podcast on our AAPC website. I'm sure Lori knows exactly the URL. I don't, but you can find it.
Yeah, if you use your podcast app and look up AAPC, The Pulse, it should pop up there as well.
The Pulse. Yeah.
Well, we've got an awesome group coming in here, Dave. AAPCCA Chapter Advisory Board.
Chapter Advisory Board.
Did I get that right?
Yeah. All right, let's bring in Brenda Stevens.
Hello.
Hi, Brenda. And Bev. So good to see you guys. Thanks for being with us. We're just days away from seeing each other in person.
Yes.
Feels like it's been a year or so.
And then we have Debbie on. And Debbie will be able to talk to us, but I don't think Debbie's video is quite working, so she's just going to be kind of a ghost box there. Is that going to work, Debbie?
I'm going to work.
Great.
All right. Well, we're glad you could be with us, Debbie. We should have just had a snapshot, a picture of you right there or something, but we're glad to hear your voice. All right. Well, Brenda is the president of the CAB. Brenda, how are things in your world with everything that you do for our local chapters?
Oh, things are going well. Local chapters are being successful. We're getting ready for Member Mania, formerly May Mania. So it's just an exciting time.
All right. And tell us a little bit about Member Mania for those who aren't aware of it. What does that entail for our members?
Well, it's when our local chapters really just go above and beyond for the members, for the local chapters, and they host a Member Mania, what we call a Member Mania event in May. And it's just lots of fun. They have themes, and they have fun with it as well. And it's just a way to bring members out to see local chapters and just to see what we do and how wonderful we do it.
When I see the pictures of Member Mania, or formerly, as you said, May Mania on our Instagram channels, I see those pictures and it looks like this is where chapter officers really try to bring in a unique experience with top-notch education. I know they always do that, but it might be a little bit extra special that month.
Yeah. Yeah, extra special. The themes are fantastic. There's giveaways from the local chapters and from the national level. It's really just a fun time to engage the members and to get new members.
Awesome. Chanel, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am great. Hey, I'm curious, what has your local chapter done for Member Mania in the past?
Oh, we have truly, just like Brenda said, we celebrated the members. We have a wonderful meeting for the members. We have games and door prizes and giveaways. We had a wonderful speaker last year speaking about behavioral health, mental health. So that was big last year. It was a Hawaiian theme, luau theme. So it's a big party, but of course it's a celebration to the members. So it was
Okay. I
wonderful.
love
I'm
it.
looking forward to this year.
Well, what's this year's theme, Chanel?
I think this year's theme, and they just sent out the invite. I did remember seeing the invite come across in my email. So they have another big party planned this year. So I'm
All
excited.
right. Awesome.
Mhm.
How about you, Beth? What has your chapter done in the past?
Well, in the past, let's see, the last 2 years I was president, and we just all the officers just kind of got in there and came up with ideas. Last year, we did kind of like Chanel, we had a mental health day, Member Mania. We had a lot of speakers come in that were mental health related, a lot of self-help, things like that. I don't really know what's happening this year because I'm not an officer this year. So, yeah, the email has come out, but I don't really know what my local chapter is going to be doing.
Okay, it'll
But
be
I'm
a
glad they're
surprise.
having one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you better check out that email because you don't want to attend without your luau shirt on, or
Right.
That's right.
that
That's
happened.
right.
Hey, Debbie, can you hear us?
I can
Debbie?
hear you.
So tell us about your local chapter. What kind of things have you done? Any special topics or anything that's been unique to your Member Mania in the past?
Well, we've done. I'm sorry, I'm getting static here. Just a
A little
moment.
bit echo. Yeah.
In the past, we have done a presenter where we have a round table. And so we've actually had people come in and with different specialty knowledge. And then we have it on a stage in the auditorium, and we have an MC that goes around and challenges us with questions for CPT coding. So it's very, very fun, very interesting. This year we're going to have the May 4th. So we're going to have the 4th be with you.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Cool.
we're teaming up to do something for that, and we're looking forward to that.
Will you be dressed as a Jedi? Okay, well, you'll have to share pictures. We want to see pictures of that,
Right.
Sure.
Debbie, so,
Definitely.
Sure. We're going to do it.
oh, fun. Hey, Brenda, we've talked about the name change from Board of Directors, AAPCCA Board of Directors, to CAB, Chapter Advisory Board. Tell us a little bit about why that happened.
Well, the name change came about because we wanted to align the boards to be seen more in an advisory capacity. So you already have the National Advisory Board. So it's just fitting to align us with that and become the Chapter Advisory Board, because it's more of what we do. We're there to help advise the local chapter officers as they advise their members, so we can all be, a successful local chapter, a successful arena there.
Okay.
And so that is why we have the name change. And it's kind of catchy too. Now you have the NAB, now you have the CAB.
It rhymes now, so that's
enough.
People like me that need that help, right? The NAB and the CAB, and then it's just learning what the acronym is. Chapter Advisory
Yes.
Board.
Yep, Chapter Advisory Board. That's what it is.
Okay. It seems to fit the purpose of what you guys do, the work
Yeah.
that you do better than
Yeah.
board of directors, I think.
Absolutely, because we aren't here to be that liaison between the national level and the local chapter level. And again, just to advise them and to help the local chapters be successful officers and have successful local chapter meetings.
So what does it look like for a CAB member in their work? 'Cause I think there are many who are watching who might feel like they want to apply to be a member of the CAB in the future.
Mhm.
What does that workload look like, and how are they involved in helping the chapters? How are you guys involved with that? And we'll start with you, Brenda.
Okay, so I chair the board, and so we collectively there are 8 regions, and there are generally 2 CAB members assigned to each region to help that region with anything that they may need. And the workload is we have meetings, we have committees, and we work hard for our local chapter officers. We come up with PowerPoint presentations that they may use. We present ourselves to our local chapters when asked. And we're there as that resource for them and just to help them in any capacity that they may need.
Awesome. Bev, this past year was your first year on the CAB.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about what that experience was like and what you've loved about it.
Oh gosh, I have just loved every minute of it. I don't even have words. I'm just going to tell you. I came in. I was kind of chosen as a replacement for someone who had to leave, and it's okay. I came, I think, in February. I didn't exactly start in January. So my chapter, we were already in the throes of our first quarter project. We have projects every quarter, things that we come up with to try to help the chapters, the officers. Again, chapter advisory. So that's what we do. We're trying to do things that help the chapters and answer their questions. You've got to hit the ground running when you come in there. This is the first time I had ever been involved in anything like this, and it was eye-opening, but I love it. And getting to go to HealthCon is part of that experience, and it's just amazing. And I've learned so much just in a year.
And we rely on the CAB so much for HealthCon and organizing and the flow, like just having the event run. Dave, you would know a lot about that.
Yeah, you both the CAB and the NAB have helped us so much to just even crowd control of people going in and out of rooms and checking badges and facilitating, helping the speakers get set up so they're ready to go. So yeah, your involvement in HealthCon, like we couldn't do it without you. Absolutely. We definitely appreciate your help with all of that.
It wouldn't happen without them.
More crazy than it is.
Yeah.
We love
Debbie,
we love helping.
Debbie, how about yourself? What led you to apply for the CAB, Debbie?
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
What led you to apply to be a member of the board?
I don't know. I really love helping chapters, helping people. And when I found out that this was mainly liaison for the chapter, I thought, wow, how interesting. Can I share? What experience can I share to the chapters? We have chapters that, will call us and ask us, how do I do this? Or how can I make this better? And it's just so rewarding to be able to help them. And they'll send an email back, wow, that was great, it worked. And it's just such a rewarding feeling that you can actually help these chapters out. And everybody's here for one thing. We're all here to help each other. So it's not just my chapter or your chapter, it's all of us.
Yes.
Awesome.
Great
I
point.
love it. Thanks for sharing, Debbie. I love that. Chanel, you're in your second year now as well, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And what led you to apply for the CAB?
So I love to help people. Of course, I started off as a member and then I progressed to being an officer, and I wanted to stretch myself and take that extra foot and say, okay, I love being a part of the chapter. I love being an officer, and I love to help. So how can I help? How can I potentially make things better for the local chapter officers?
Mhm.
So that's what led me to applying. And since then, the one word to explain it is excitement.
Yes. That's a
I
great
do. I have a vivid memory of Brenda calling me to let me know that I had been selected. And the memory is I'm in the car driving. I don't think I ever told Brenda this, but I was in the car driving and my phone rang, and I thought she was calling for a second interview or to ask me questions. And I'm literally driving on the highway, and she told me I had been selected, and I had to keep myself calm not to swerve into another lane because I was so excited.
That is hilarious.
But it has been so exciting.
Mhm.
I had moments of I can't believe I am part of this. And
Mhm.
then last year for HealthCon, I had a moment of looking around in the conference center, having a moment of I can't believe I'm here.
Mhm.
So it's exciting.
Those were great moments,
Right.
Chanel.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing those. That's so fun.
I went from reading the monthly magazine to being a part of this organization. Right.
Beautiful example of
Yeah.
Right.
if you want to get involved, if you want to get involved with AAPC, the doors are open, right? You just
Right.
have to
Take that, take
Right.
that first step.
Right. Did a stretch, and I've actually had people, our chapter members that I have known for, let's say, 10 or 11 years from the very beginning when I first came into the chapter. And we still see each other at chapter meetings, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I remember when you first came here, and I've seen your steps and your progress. What can I do to get there?" So I kind of like a partial, like a mentor.
And
So
just
I
like
tell
Excellent.
them,
that. Mhm.
right. I say, hey, you can do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Chanel, what's the year been like? Tell us a little bit about the workload. Do you have meetings once a month, once a week? What is the involvement like for you?
Yes. So I'm the chair of the Public Relations Committee. So we have a once a month meeting. We contribute to the monthly magazine. We meet every month to make sure we stay on task. We're heavily involved with the Facebook group for the officers. So we monitor what's posted. We answer questions in there. So we're heavily involved with that. And of course, we have the officers reaching out to us if they have any questions or concerns or anything. So it's been a busy year, but a wonderful year so far.
Yes.
What's a common question or challenge that you see chapters face, especially just thinking about the Facebook group? It's
Mm.
easy for people to share those challenges, things like that. What kind of, or what are some common themes, Chanel?
I would say the common theme is officers that are looking for speakers for
Sneakers,
their meetings.
yes.
And one thing I noticed is that some of the officers didn't realize that they can join the Facebook group, share ideas, and even look for speakers. They weren't aware that just that you can find speakers. So a lot of them are posting, hey, we have a speaker, but they had to cancel at the last minute. Can somebody fill in? So we kind of all rally together and say, hey, do you know a speaker that can potentially fill in for this chapter? Their meeting is in 2 weeks or something like that. So I think that's the common theme is to find speakers.
Yes,
And
that is.
and are these volunteer speakers, or are chapters paying them?
Volunteer.
Volunteer. Okay.
Mhm.
Low to no cost CEU.
Right.
Low to
Right.
no cost. Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that is the name of the game.
That's
Right.
right. Do you guys, board members,
Mhm.
do you present at local chapters? Are you available to speak about your
Absolutely.
expertise?
Oh, absolutely. And last year for HealthCon, the timing was perfect because my local chapter here, because they knew I was on the board, they asked me to come and give a short presentation of what's happening, what's new with AAPC. And this happened to be a few weeks before HealthCon last year. So I was able to make that connection and say, hey, we have HealthCon coming up in a couple of weeks. Who's going? A show of hands. So it was an in-person meeting. So I gave a quick presentation, maybe 10 minutes of, what's new, what's happening. And then of course I highlighted HealthCon because that was coming up.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it.
And we love to present. So call or ask us.
Yes.
All you need to do is email your chapter advisory, your regional rep.
Yes.
Email us. And yes, I mean, I've spoken twice already this year. I've got 3 more lined up. It's and we love doing it. The more I speak, the more I love it. So I'm a mic hog for sure.
And we do have a ready-made presentation. Shameless plug here, but we do have a ready-made presentation on the benefits of being a local chapter officer. So just call on us.
Hey
so
guys,
you have a ready presentation on it. Is that you would share with people that want to speak, or?
That's one that we present to local chapters.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's already made. Yep. Cool.
We'll just call on us, and we'll be ready to present it to you, because it's never elections will be coming up. That'll be here before we know it, and we just want to get our members involved, and some may be scared to step up to being officers. And really, we're one big family. When you're an officer, we are just one big family, and you're never in it alone. Right. And so we reiterate that.
Right.
Not
Thank
only
you, Robin.
yeah, I was going to say Bev is not only a great speaker, she is a natural performer.
Yeah.
Yes.
There, Alex.
We're going there. We're going there. So for Nashville, as we're prepping for Nashville, Jesus must have been around November, December, prior to Nashville, so 2022. We had a contest, and we said write or share a song or perform a song or something on our Instagram and Facebook channels. So Beth had an awesome video submitted. She won, but she didn't need to win because she became a member of the CAB.
Right.
Oh, do we have actual footage? Do we have actual footage?
No,
oh, yeah.
It's all gone.
No.
We have it. Yeah, I have the video if you want it. I'm not
I've got
share
the video.
Though. Yeah. I figured Alex still had it somewhere. Yeah.
If I knew Bev were going to be on, I probably would have dug that. But you're lucky, Bev. But it was awesome. So much fun. It was so much fun. And I love that, it's just being brave and stepping into the unknown. But when you do that with AAPC, there's a safety net of amazing members, 250,000 members who are here to support you and guide you in your career. That's what we're about. I love it. And Brenda, you've seen this. Like you've seen these members who may have been nervous to take the step into the CAB or NAB or presenting. Do you have any stories? I'm kind of catching you off guard here, but can you think of anyone in particular that maybe was that was shy, nervous to take that step into their career like this?
Yes, actually, myself, I have a personal story with that, but I do have a chapter officer who, for my local chapter, who was very nervous to step up to being a local chapter, but did it on the grounds that, we told her that you will, and it was the vice president role. And I could be telling my age here, but it was way back when the vice president was not an elected role, but it was a roll up position. So you would become when you were vice president, the next year you would automatically become president. And so that was a little intimidating for some, but just reiterating the fact that, you're not in it alone. We are all here to help you lay the groundwork to make our chapter. It's not her chapter, your chapter, it's our chapter, to make that chapter and make that chapter meeting a great success. reluctantly, she did take the vice president role, but then later on, realizing that yes, we all are here, we have helped her, came on to be president and held the president role for 2 years, I think,
Wow.
Wow.
and did a fantastic job at it. And our member manias, we've had back when it was May Mania, we've had the Hawaiian theme, we've had Mexican themes, we've done a circus theme. And so these are all on the cusp of having those officer meetings and polling our members to see what they want.
I love that so much. I'm curious, Debbie, because you're hidden here, not on purpose, but tell us a little bit about your experience. Was it tough for you to step out into these leadership type of roles, or do you feel like you had that in you prior to your experience with the cab?
Um, I had some leadership experience, but I felt like I wanted to do the best job I could do. So there were things that were new to me, and I was, we have a fantastic relationship with all the cab members. So if you are kind of shy about something, you have the support of everyone helping you. And I think too, I am president of my chapter. It helps me to, for instance, introduce some of the opportunities that one can be by being an officer. Because when they learn that I'm just the secretary, that if you need help, we're all here to help. I think that just plays a role as far as what's happening with the cab, because we're all here to help each other.
I love it. Dave, do you have any thoughts about this awesome discussion?
Well, first of all, just some common themes. First of all, you all love helping each other, and that's beautiful. And that's probably very common in all the chapters. So if you're nervous, just know you've got a group, like you're all saying, that really wants to help you succeed and wants to help the chapter succeed. So that nervousness, I think, can easily be abated, knowing that everybody's just so helpful. So I love that. Yeah, we've had some great comments in the chat too. Naya, hopefully I said that right, started as a chapter member, worked her way up to officer, now approved facilitator for her chapter. There's just so much opportunity to grow professionally and personally through these opportunities.
I love that. And thank
That's
you.
what's amazing. Yeah, I mean, just like you may be coming in to AAPC looking to be a medical coder and seeing this. It's more than a job, is what I'm getting to. It is a career with so many possibilities, and we talk about this a lot. You guys have been on Social Hour with me and Dave several times, and we talk about so many different paths that you can take. Like coding can just open the door, and you may stick with that for your whole career, and that's fine. But there are so many options or opportunities in compliance, auditing, education that you could explore. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're getting close to wrapping up, but one of the things that our viewers love, especially our students, they love to hear study and exam tips. So I'm going to ask each one of you. You've all been there. You know of how difficult the CPC exam can be, or any AAPC exam, and we want to make sure that our members are prepared for the task at hand. But Chanel, I'm going to start with you, if you don't mind. What advice would you give to someone who is studying for their first AAPC exam? Any tips for them?
I would say have some dedicated time, quiet time where you can study uninterrupted, so you can focus. That would be the main thing. Have a consistent study time for yourself. As far as the exam itself, just go into it knowing that you will do well. And if for some reason you miss it, by a point or two, don't be so hard on yourself, because it took me twice to pass. So don't be hard on yourself. Look at the sections that you kind of struggle with, study a little bit more, but don't give up. Don't give up. That would be my main thing, is dedicated studying time and to keep pushing and don't give up.
Yep. Love it. Thank you,
Great.
Chanel.
Mhm.
Bev Stover, what do you have? You may be the most recent person to pass of our professional share.
Right. I passed in 2016.
Okay.
So, and it took me 2 years to find a job. I'm not gonna lie. So I tell everybody, do not give up. Do not get
Right.
discouraged. I didn't even pass on the second go. So I mean, it took me, and I'll admit I was in my 40s, late 40s when I did this, and
Mhm.
it's harder to
Mhm.
learn as you age. But I tell
It is.
everybody, this is the
Mhm.
best thing that I have ever done for myself. If you're not in it, get into it.
Mhm.
And if you're studying, and we all hit the brick wall. We all hit that brick wall every once. And I'm just saying, do not ever stop. Don't
Right.
stop trying. Don't give up.
Mhm.
Now, I did stop at the CPC. Now, I am studying for the facilitator exam, but I'm a little nervous about that. But I after that first exam, and I finally did pass it, I was just glad that I finally passed it. But
Yeah.
the study guide, get the study guide, because that's what
Yeah.
actually pushed me over the top. My scores were like 68, 65,
Mhm.
6. Finally, I passed. Yes, it took me 4. So, um, but I'm not ashamed to say that, because not
Mhm.
everybody is a good test taker.
Right.
So I will be the one as the new kid on the block. Don't ever give up. Keep going. And here's a quick one. I'll tell you real quick. I was somewhere traveling this weekend, and one of my AAPC shirts is just extremely comfortable. That's my travel shirt. I was getting in the elevator with a lady, and I had never met her before. And she said, "Oh, I recognize the logo." And I was like, "Really?" I said, "Are you studying?" She said, "Yes." And I was just so happy that I actually met her. And this
Wow.
was just
So cool.
random. But I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, you're gonna
Wow.
love it. You'll never stop. Just keep going.
Mhm.
Keep going."
Yep.
But
Right.
yeah, it was so
Mhm.
random and cool. You just never know who you're gonna meet. It's
Right.
amazing.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wear your AAPC logoed apparel everywhere you go, right? Make friends everywhere.
I have plenty. Yes, I can.
Yes, it works.
Yes. Mhm.
Bev's message is one of persistence. I feel like for me,
Mhm.
when I hear that, it just you stick with
Absolutely.
it. Okay.
Yeah. Can I
Debbie.
just throw a quick plug
Oh,
in there? I did
yeah.
write an article for AAPC, the magazine. It's in there this month, and it's about
Oh.
Member Mania next month. So
Oh,
read it,
Uh-huh.
read it.
amazing. Check that out. Yeah. Thanks, Bev.
Debbie.
Thank you.
Debbie, what advice do you have for our students or future examinees?
I always tell my students, don't try to cram the day before the exam.
Mhm.
Take some time to refresh your brain.
Mhm.
You're not going to be able to study and the very day before, study 10, 15 hours and go into the exam, and your brain is already, it hurts, it's fried.
Mhm.
So I always tell my students, do not, just take the day off, never give up.
Right.
As well as the rest of you have said, just don't give up,
Mhm.
because it could be one little thing that you messed up on, but keep going.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
The
I like
hay is in
that.
the barn.
Right. Keep going and invest in yourself.
Yes.
That's right.
Keep
Yeah.
going. The
Mhm.
Yes.
possibilities are endless. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
But
As
don't
Debbie,
stop.
oh,
Don't stop at one certification. Keep going. The more you
Mhm.
have, the better it looks on your resume, more opportunities for you.
Yes.
So you might be able to get a billing job versus a coding job because you have the certification.
Mhm.
Yes.
thank you,
Agreed.
Debbie. That's awesome advice. I appreciate that. And I did think about how you said, don't try to cram the night before.
Right.
You've done the work.
Mhm.
And as you said that, Debbie, I thought to myself that it's not about memorizing, right? It's about knowing where
Right.
to go. You can't
Right.
memorize the code books. You've got to know where to go.
Right.
Yes, that's a great
Okay.
point. Yes,
Mhm.
great point, Alex. What I always tell my students are what we do is not a memorization tool. We have our guidelines, we have our ICD-10 guidelines, our CPT guidelines. And so we're guided by those, and our books are our best resources.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, Brenda, I was going to ask you. So, is that your tip? Is that just understand where things are?
Yes,
Okay.
understand where they are, know where the guidelines are, know the information that's in the guidelines, both in the CPT and the ICD-10 book. Read through those parenthetical guidelines when you're studying and when you're preparing for the tests. Write meaningful notes. You don't want to
Mhm.
write long passages because you want to streamline it, make them meaningful to you. What's important to like Bev may not be important to me to write down in notes. So
Right.
make those meaningful notes for yourself and don't highlight everything
Mhm.
because now everything becomes important. In the CPT book, I always suggest if there are age difference codes, highlight those ages. That'll bring your eye to the difference in those two code descriptors.
Mhm.
And always, read all the answers
Mhm.
before you make a selection. You may think this is the right one, but just kind of skim through them. And so you can read all the answers before making your selection. And pace yourself.
Yeah.
And breathe. I know that's easier said than done.
Oh,
Like, right.
that's right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I had to do that even just driving back from the eclipse, man. Crazy storms across Texas, but the breathing, you breathe and breathe through your stomach, right? Open up your diaphragm, some slow breaths. Great tips. All great tips. Awesome.
Dave, what is your tip? Oh,
My tip, oh man, my tip would be just I think making sure in your body you feel good, right? So
Mhm.
the night before you're not out partying or anything like that. It's like
Right.
make
Right.
sure you're well hydrated, but not
Mhm.
too hydrated that you need to use the bathroom all the time. But just get into a good, peaceful state, and it's
Mhm.
going to be much easier to recall all the things that you've studied and learned. Similar to what Debbie said. So
Mhm.
yes. Awesome. Well, guys, we are at the top of the hour. It's been so much fun to see you guys. I feel like this is we're priming the pump for HealthCon when we see each other this
Mhm.
coming weekend. So looking forward to that. We're going to say bye to our cab guests. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
And then Dave and I will wrap it up.
Thank you
Bye.
for having us.
Okay, we'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
What amazing people. Dave, like this came up several times about HealthCon. Lori mentioned it's fun for us as staff to be together and have the opportunity to reconnect, but to be with our members, the NAB, the CAB is just, it is the best part of my job, I think.
yeah, it feels like family, you meet these people and you really only see them like every so often, but there's such a great connection that we all have because we're all part of the same organization, and it really is like family. So it's cool. I'm excited for it. Excited to rub shoulders with everyone and have some fun on stage with you, Alex, and
Yes.
we'll see how it all goes. It's
Oh
always
boy.
a good
Okay.
time.
Yeah, you're laughing and it makes me nervous.
I won't make you
But
dress
hey,
up or anything.
yeah. Okay. All right. Keep the tutu at home for me. Okay. Just, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we will, for our viewers, we will see you guys next week. We're bumping up our social hours so we can be on site and share that experience with you. So Dave and I will see you guys next week, and we will get this Facebook thing figured out. So we'll be back on Facebook, but this broadcast will live on our YouTube channel. We'll get it up on our podcast, the AAPC podcast, and that's all I've got. Dave, do you have anything to wrap this up?
No, just thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Really excited.
Bye, everybody.